self-care warriors. Welcome back to Self-Care Haven. I hope you're doing well. I hope your loved ones are safe and well during these difficult times. And today I wanted to make a video to dismantle a very common myth about malignant narcissists and psychopaths. And that is the myth that they are lashing out in pain when they engage in aggressive behavior towards others. What research has shown us is that instrumental aggression, rather than reactive aggression, is what distinguishes the psychopath from other types of individuals. From non-psychopathic individuals, psychopaths tend to engage in predatory, premeditated crimes that are perpetrated to fulfill a certain agenda, to get some sort of reward, whether that be a monetary reward or even the reward of inflicting pain on someone innocent in order to gain that sense of sadistic pleasure. In fact, studies have shown that homicides committed by psychopaths tend to have a greater level of excessive and gratuitous violence and sadism. Now, this is very different from reactive aggression, where non-psychopathic individual is committing a crime of passion out of fear, out of a sense of threat, a sense of danger, or of hot rage, right? And what people don't realize about the psychopath is that they tend to have a reduced response in the amygdala, which is the region of their brain associated with that fight or flight response. So they have this kind of callousness, this kind of fearlessness, this fearless dominance that drives their instrumental aggression. And it is very different from reactive aggression, which is more about crimes of passion. It is more hot-headed, it is more impulsive, more hostile. And those who engage in reactive aggression, who are not psychopaths, they may be reacting from a place of deep emotion, or they may be suffering from some sort of mental illness, whether that be schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, or even borderline personality disorder, where they have an overactive response in the amygdala in response to perceived threat, fear, or danger. Psychopaths, on the other hand, are emotionally impoverished, right? They have that flat affect. They have a reduced startle response, and they don't have as much emotional responsiveness to aversive stimuli. So when they perceive a threat or risk or harm to others or themselves, they don't really care about it. They act out of what is going to get them the most reward at that time, and they don't care about the consequences, and they exhibit a reduced sensitivity to punishment. So knowing this, we can finally understand that our misconception about psychopaths having this kind of bad childhood, this tumultuous childhood, they must be in pain, they must be in agony, is actually a result of us projecting our own empathy, our own conscience, perhaps even our own tumultuous childhoods onto these kind of callous, fearless, and conscienceless individuals who don't have that remorse, who don't have that shame, who aren't really in as much pain as we might think. In fact, there has been research to confirm that primary psychopaths, psychopathic individuals who are born with these psychopathic characteristics, tend to report less post-traumatic stress symptoms, and they do not report childhood abuse as often as the more sociopathic individuals, the secondary psychopaths, who may have been raised by their environment and may have had some sort of abuse in their upbringing. Regardless of someone's childhood upbringing, however, that is no excuse for their abusive behavior in adulthood, because psychopathic individuals are, whether they're secondary or primary, they are not in psychosis. They know exactly what they're doing. They know the intellectual difference between right and wrong. Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with narcissists? Well, narcissists on the malignant end of the spectrum tend to have more psychopathic traits. They tend to be the most aggressive types of abusers, the most malicious types of abusers, the ones that cause the most harm, and the ones that we frequently talk about on this channel. So realizing the fact that instrumental aggression is that defining characteristic of a psychopath, we have to understand that even the reactive aggression of a psychopath is not because of lashing out in pain. In fact, studies have shown that the ventromedial prefrontal cortex tends to be activated when people are experiencing this kind of frustration or retaliation, and psychopathic individuals have that area of the brain more activated more so than their amygdala when it comes to reacting in aggression. So they are responding to frustration, not fear, when they are engaging in reactive aggression. And that distinguishes them from the reactive aggression of non-psychopaths as well. However, these types do tend to be more predatory. They tend to be more premeditated. They tend to plan their crimes. They tend to methodically, strategically rig the game for the innocent victims that they target. And they are deliberately doing this. They are intentionally doing this for a reward, whether that reward be sadistic pleasure, some sort of monetary gain, some sort of social status, whatever that may be. They are doing it on purpose, and they are doing it with this kind of malicious intent. So when we think about that, we are less able to rationalize, deny, minimize, defend their behavior, and we're able to better protect ourselves and not think of them as these people who are suffering in agony, lashing out in pain, but rather sadistic individuals who enjoy inflicting pain on others, because that feeds them a sense of emotion that they would otherwise not be able to feel in their emotionally impoverished existence. And when we think of them that way, we can better defend ourselves, protect ourselves, understand their motives, understand that only cutting contact, boundaries, defending ourselves legally, whatever route of protection we may take, we are allowed to do that, and we don't need to feel guilty. We don't need to feel ashamed about protecting ourselves, about establishing boundaries, about cutting ties, about detaching from these toxic individuals. So I hope this video has helped you to stop minimizing, rationalizing, and denying the extent of harm that psychopathic and malignant narcissistic individuals do, and especially the harm that they cause on the innocent. And the fact that their aggression is unprovoked. It is unprovoked by any kind of emotion or any kind of action that a victim may perpetrate against a psychopath. It's not because of anything that you did. It's not because of something that you said or did that the psychopath harmed you. Their aggression is unprovoked. You have a right to defend yourself against them, and you have a right to protect yourself against these individuals. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have an example of a time when a psychopath committed instrumental aggression against you or someone you know, or you have an incident of their reactive aggression, an incidence of frustration related to not getting a reward of some kind, then please do leave that story in the comment section below. I hope to talk to you soon. I hope you are safe and well. Wishing you continued blessings. And until next time, take care.